Democrats are in full-blown panic. Whom do you get to replace Biden? Because right now there's a couple of things. First of all, U.S. Democrats might have no alternative for Biden. Many are ready to speed up the nomination so that Biden can be the nominee. But again, people are feeling that Biden isn't up to par. So first, I want to pull up this interview from Carl Bernstein on CNN about Biden's debate, because we got to start talking about him, his decline, his cognitive decline. So let's play this video.
Journalist. So, Carl, according to the people you've been talking to, what are you hearing?
Well, these are people, several of them, who are very close to President Biden, who love him, have supported.
Everybody, take a shot every time you hear one of these pundits say, yeah, there's a lot of people out there who are concerned about Biden. They love him. They love him. So many of these media pundits. Van Jones started off, I love the guy, but he's in trouble. Like, no, quit saying that. Quit fucking saying that. Oh, we love the guy.
Him. And been among them are some people who have raised a lot of money for him. And they are adamant that what we saw the other night, the Joe Biden we saw, is not a one-off, that there have been 15, 20 occasions in the last year and a half when the president has appeared somewhat as he did in that horror show that we witnessed. And what's so significant is the people that this is coming from, and also how many people around the president are aware of such incidents, including some reporters, incidentally, who have witnessed some of them. But here we see tonight, as these people say, President Biden at his absolute best. And yet these people who have supported him, loved him, campaigned for him, see him often, say that in the last 6 months particularly, there has been a marked incidence of cognitive decline and physical infirmity.
What I wonder about is the people who were, working with him at Camp David, allegedly in this intensive debate prep, if there were concerns there about this, and I don't know if you have got any word about that, but how anybody involved in that debate prep, didn't
remember. People were saying that Biden was over-prepared. And never forget that I even played on yesterday's show, Jill Biden was blaming the campaign staff and advisors for failing, for not doing the job properly. But something happened. Just want to pull up this article here real quick. Remember, Psaki defends debate to prep team. Biden was bad. DNC anchor Jen Psaki, who once served as President Biden's press secretary, defended his campaign amid criticism of the president's debate performance last week, instead pinning the blame on the president. Psaki said it's absurd to blame Biden's prep team for his poor performance. It was a bad debate. I have no doubt that they were tough, strategic, and direct. Believe me, I've seen them in action. But prep does not always determine the outcome, she said on the social media platform X. Biden was bad. Important convos about what happens next. But if you're directing your ire at the prep, you are not talking about the right things, which I have to say, Jen Psaki, you might get a little knock on the door. You ever tweet that out again, you're fired.
Anybody see something?
Well, the debate prep was supervised by Ron Klain, who has been with President Biden for many years. And people I've talked to have all been to Ron Klain in the last year to say, we have a problem. We have a problem such as we saw the other night, that there have been numerous instances where the president has lost his train of thought, can't pick it up again. There was a fundraiser at which he started at the podium, and then he became very stiff, according to the people there, as if it were almost a kind of rigor mortis.
This was reported allegedly in June of 2020.
This was June of, this was a year ago, almost exactly, at the old Four Seasons restaurant on Park.
I like how they're noticing all this stuff now. Really, media? You're noticing it now? Have you not been watching Hard Lens Media? Because we've been watching. We have been observing. We've done countless videos. A lot of people in independent media have been doing this. We've been saying that there's something wrong with Biden, but it's only now that you notice. It's only now after that horrible failure of a debate that you're starting to be like, yeah, wow, I guess there really is something wrong.
Avenue, and he became very stiff, and a chair had to be brought for him to do the latter part of the event. I think that what these folks are saying and have been saying for a while is, yes, he's great when we see him as we have tonight, but he also has these inexplicable moments that we're very concerned about. And you, Ron Klain, and the First Family, we need to talk about this. And they've been pushed back repeatedly whenever it's been brought up.
And did your sources tell you about topics he's particularly engaged in, or are there?
Not only, and it's not just these same people. There is no question. I have heard for 2 years how sharp Joe Biden is in his national security meetings. He has special briefing books on Ukraine, on the situation in Gaza that go down into very detailed military reports. He has an absolute command of the facts. He's sharp.
No, this is a lie. You're lying, sir. You're lying and you're insulting everybody's intelligence, because right now, people are still speaking out about Biden's failure. Even CNN, Jake Tapper, CNN. Remember Jake Tapper? All these people saying that Biden was the sharpest they've ever seen it. Now they're singing a different tune.
In an attempt to reassure voters about his fitness for office, Biden campaign chair Jen O'Malley Dillon holding a call with party leaders earlier today, telling them this too shall pass. There is a discernible pattern of Democratic officials seemingly trying to convince you, the public, to not believe what you saw and what you heard with your eyes.
Yo, you guys are doing that all the time, CNN. Many of you, before the debate, I think from here on out, we should mark 2024 into 2 different time eras. Before the debate and after the debate. Okay? Before the debate, all right? Before BD 2024, BD 2024, so many people are saying Biden is sharp. He's going to be ready. He's going to defeat Trump. He's going to be articulate. He's been prepped. He's trained. He's going to do it. AD 2024, Biden's out of touch. Don't believe what you see. We're so sorry. Hey, listen, it's a little complicated. They don't know what story to choose from.
Eyes and with your ears on Thursday night.
What I've been able to do with the with the COVID, with dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare, the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
Jake, you're right there, front row. But you think that's going to persuade Democrats to maybe look for somebody else? Well, here's the truth of it all. Democrats ready to speed up Biden nomination, according to Bloomberg. The Democratic National Committee, the DNC, could formally nominate Joe Biden as a presidential candidate as early as July 21st, aiming to put an end to speculation of a possible replacement in the wake of the incumbent's lackluster performance in a recent TV debate with Republican rival Donald Trump. The Democrats had already planned to nominate Biden before their August convention, but the proposed fortuitous timing will allow the party to stamp out intra-party chatter of replacing him and further coalesce around their nominee, even as insiders call for him to step aside for a new candidate after his rocky June 27th debate performance, Bloomberg reported on Monday, citing people familiar with the matter. The DNC is set to hold several committee meetings, July 16th to the 21st, to finalize the rules and procedures for a virtual vote. Virtual vote. I don't know what that means for August 19th to the 22nd in Chicago, but it's looking very clear to me that the establishment has its pick. And if it's truly Biden, wow, they are gambling high. Speaking of Fox News, 2 Democratic sources also confirmed July 21st as a potential date, which would be just 3 days after Trump is expected to receive his party's nomination. And of course, right here, U.S. Democrats could have no alternative to Biden. The Democratic Party likely does not have enough time to replace President Joe Biden with another candidate for the November election if the 81-year-old drops out. Two analysts have written in Time magazine the party is said to be scrambling after Biden's disastrous debate performance against Donald Trump last week. During debate, a seemingly frail and confused, senile old goat Biden struggled to speak clearly, mixed up his words, and appeared to lose his train of thought completely on several occasions. Biden's lackluster performance has reportedly caused panic within the Democratic Party and led to numerous major donors calling for him to be replaced on the party's ticket for the November 5th election. But they can't do it. There's not enough time. But even when you have her, that's right, Maddow's returning again. Maddow, project your fear again. Do it. Do what you're doing best, as always.
I will say, in fairness, if the Democrats are going to change their nominee, they should maybe get on it. Right? Don't take advice from me on this, but it seems like common sense that, just waiting a while is the worst possible solution. If Vice President Kamala Harris or anyone else is going to take over the top of the ticket instead of President Biden, that candidate will need enough time to actually run a campaign, and it's July. So I don't know if the Democrats are going to replace Joe Biden at the top of the ticket or if they should. The only person who can make this decision is the nominee himself, President Biden himself. But I do know that the window to make this decision is right now, and it's about this wide. Right? Speak now or hold your peace.
You're not serious. You guys, actually, a lot of you liberals in the corporate media and even the Democratic Party should have been having this conversation last year in January of 2023. You had all of 2023 to get this squared away. You know what? Hell, you guys should have been having this conversation in mid-2022 during the midterms. Should Biden run again? You guys should have been ready for this. Should have, because I remember when Biden said that he'd be a one-term president. But you put all your eggs in one basket, which is foolish, which shows me and shows my audience that Democrats are not actual critical thinkers, that liberals are expecting their voter base to have Trump derangement syndrome and vote for old man Biden because Trump is such a bad, bad man. Well, they had a chance to get a replacement for Biden, and they didn't do it. They chose a path of least resistance. So why should I or anybody else consider the Democrats to be a legitimate political party at this point with the idea that somehow they're going to help out and improve the lives of the American people? This is all a game. It's a game in which all of us are stuck with, because now who's the replacement? Who do you have?
Democrats, if you actually want a chance of competing here. Because meanwhile, the Republicans are delighted to be running their felon, the guy who really did sick the rioting mob on Congress. They're really running him.
Wow, she is breathing in and out. Hold on. Say that again, Maddow. I heard you breathing deep in and out. January 6th. January 6th. January 6th. January 6th. January 6th. Oh no, January 6th. I get a lot of talks from people saying, gee, kid, you're being awfully mean and petty. Try dealing with smug liberals for 8 years. People who had larger platforms talking down to all of us. People who thought they knew better because for the time being, the system was working in their favor. But now seeing it all come crashing down, I'm going to kick a person when they're down. I'm going to kick them in their mouth. I'm going to stomp on their head. I'm going to gut check them. Why? Because it's funny. Because now they need progressives and independents. And they're realizing that the Great Coalition is no longer around. And to the off chance, in case there's a Democrat strategist watching this show, and the off chance there is, you do realize, because I'm pretty sure there's some Democratic strategists who are looking at the numbers. Have you been paying attention to the turnout for the Democratic primary? I mean, the numbers are abysmal. Look at 2016 and 2020. I know Bernie Sanders' name is there, and I'll trigger a lot of the liberals, but so many people turned out to vote. Tens upon thousands, tens and tens and tens of thousands of people showed up, especially in 2020 when the lockdowns were going on. How many people are showing up for this one? You're lucky you even get 1,000. You're lucky.
While he is awaiting sentencing himself for a whole separate set of dozens of unrelated felony charges. There's a rioting mob on Congress. They're really running him.
Say it again.
The guy who really did sick the rioting mob on Congress. They're really running him.
Oh no, Trump. Trump.
While he is awaiting sentencing himself for a whole separate set of dozens of unrelated felony charges.
Chicago, great one. I don't want to even have that image in my head. Get up and go see the White House counselor. Shame on you.
The case in which those 34 felony convictions against him were obtained is a case that took years to get into court, in part because while Trump was president, his Justice Department ordered federal prosecutors to stop their investigation of Trump.
New Jersey native, I'm going to assume that that's what it is, NJ native, says, I'm like Kit, as you should. Well done. Well done. Getting the popcorn, cold beer, cooking a steak. Yeah. I'm like Kit. Correct choice. Best statement of the day. Getting the popcorn, a cold beer, cooking a steak, voting for Jill Stein, then going to sit back on November 4th and watch the shite show. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Life-changing statement right there. 10 out of 10. Life-changing statement. The best statement right there. 10 out of 10. Life-changing statement.
In conjunction with that case. We know that from the former U.S. attorney in that federal district who wrote about it in his book.
I know. Oh, how sad. How sad. How sad indeed. But it gets better because here are 7 potential names. But yet I remember, as I said, the Democrats are going to force a vote to make sure that Biden's their nominee, even though there's fear. But here's the 7 Democrats. First of all, I could read their bios, but you already know who they are. First of all, giving up for the cackling cop herself, Kamala Harris, even though her polling numbers are absolutely abysmal. And in comparison to Biden, Biden's more popular than her. I mean, what is this? Look, Harris versus Trump in the polls. I mean, still, she sucks. She sucks. Nobody likes Kamala. Don't make her into a thing. Nobody likes Kamala. Kamala is not popular. Then you have a California knockoff version of Count Chocula, Gavin Newsom. Hey, people in California, I think you guys and gals are the experts. Regale us with tales of Gavin Newsom being your oh-so-fantastic governor of the great state of California. Type in the comment section below. You got Gretchen Whitmer, who is the governor of Michigan. So there you go. You got her. Oh, give it up for the safety officer himself for public transportation. Hey, who do you trust with public safety more? Let's have democracy in the chat. Type 1 for Pete Buttigieg, because he's a serious man and somebody who should become president of these United States. I trust Pete. Or type 2, Homer Simpson, the best nuclear safety inspector in the great city of Springfield. And if any of you are worth your salt, you'll type 2 in that goddamn comment section, because the difference is Homer Simpson's not a real person. Yet Pete Buttigieg, he's in charge. He's in charge of transportation, and bridges are falling apart, trains are derailing, and airplanes are falling apart in the sky. Pete Buttigieg, the mayor of South Bend, Indiana. You got Josh Shapiro from the great state of Pennsylvania. Oh, God, I'm so sorry. Governor of Illinois, J.B. Pritzker. Look, I already have to apologize enough for the whole world being exposed to Rahm Emanuel. Okay? I can't do it. I can't do it as Pritzker, please. Everybody. I only could take so much abuse. So how do we end this segment? The Democrats don't know what to do. Rachel Maddow is panting and raving live on air. Not appropriate commentary live on air, right? So I want to pull this up here because, see, everyone's saying, what can the DNC do? What can the DNC do? So I want to read this tweet from Tucker Carlson. All this nonsense you read about how only Biden can make the decision to leave is just so absurd. That's not how the Democratic Party works. No individual is more important than the collective. That's the whole point of the party. And in Biden's specific case, he's got no constituency in Washington. Yes, Ron Klain and 85-year-old Ted Kaufman benefit directly from his presidency, but it's a small group. The rest of the city has no loyalty to Biden. They don't care about him. They've never taken him seriously. Any president works for them as long as he's a Democrat. It's never personal with these people because the individual doesn't matter, which is why I have to bring up again 2016 and 2020, when the DNC collectively did everything it could to deny Bernie Sanders the nomination. Look what they also did in 2020 towards Bernie Sanders and Tulsi Gabbard and Andrew Yang. They made it very clear who they wanted. The Democratic Party revealed itself as a private corporation. We know what they have said. We've known what they have done. The Democratic Party, in theory, has all of the power necessary to make the changes. They could. It's not all about Biden. But it's almost too little too late. Almost. It is too little too late. I'm sorry about that. It is too little too late for the Democrats to make any kind of significant fundamental change. The Democrats don't have enough time to get another candidate up there. The window has closed. Hell, third-party candidates are doing better. Biden, in comparison against Trump, is fallen further and further down, as well as the whole credibility of the Democratic Party. In comparison to everybody in the race, Biden, in regards to being respected, or even at sitting down and listening to him, nobody wants to do it. Trump is already gaining enough support in the polls to where he is going to be eventually light years ahead of him. And if Biden becomes a nominee in August and they have a second debate in September, can you imagine the panic mode? It's going to be really sad. And yet, CNN, all of corporate media, MSNBC, all of them are still going to give credibility to Biden. Yet there's not going to be any room for third parties or independents to be on the debate stage. I mean, hell, that might be Biden's only saving grace if there's a couple more people put on the debate stage. But they won't do that. So what can I say? What can we all say? The Democratic Party playing ignorant here. They have the power to really change things up. They could right now. But you want to know what happened? They ran out of time because of ego and pride and arrogance. So let them swim in their crap. Let's point and laugh at them and grab the popcorn. It's only going to get better. Okay? And the only reason why I'm going to say that is because you ever see somebody act really goofy and everyone's capturing on film, and somebody will say in the background, maybe we should stop him or her before they make themselves look really foolish. And there's going to be that one brave soul that says, no, hold. Let them cook more. And I embrace that. Folks, get ready to record epic failures and meltdowns, the likes of which we haven't seen since 2016. If this is the canary in the coal mine, I can't wait to see the whole show because it's going to be glorious, and Hard Lens Media will be there to cover it.